Welcome to the broadcast. I am Ashley Mazuri. Our sign language interpreter is Maresha Owiti. Now, the government has directed vice chancellors of all public universities to unconditionally admit all first-year students beginning Monday, pending the processing of their government funding. Speaking in Parliament when he appeared before the Education Committee to offer clarifications on the new university funding model, Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu further gave the assurance that although students have a maximum of 2 weeks to apply for funding, the government would extend the application period to ensure that no one is locked out.
With universities set to begin admitting their first-year students, Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu appeared in Parliament to clarify on the many questions surrounding the new funding formula. The MPs wanted to know why the government was pushing to have admissions commence next week without disbursing the requisite funds to universities. Machogu informed the committee that universities will have to be patient.
So what I want from you, CS, is to confirm two things. And the first option is the best as the people's representative. That on Monday, when those children go to the institutions, they will be allowed in so long as they have the letters pending the processing from Mr. Ringera and his team in terms of the funding.
If that is not going to happen, why the rush? They will be there for 4 years anyway. They can wait for another 1 month or even 2 and report in October, when things shall have been put in a better perspective. Will they report without mind?
We have made it clear to our public universities, and they will be admitted while we are processing disbursement of funds to all our public universities.
The CS was pushed further by the committee to write a circular to all public universities. He assured parents and students of admission to the various institutions as they await government funding.
Are you willing, as the Ministry of Education, to provide support desks in the universities to enable those students to be assisted in the application of scholarships or bursaries?
Students are visiting universities and they're being supported. So that kind of assistance is there, and it's going to continue throughout the period until we have sorted out every issue that every student is experiencing and they have settled.
When do we expect a circular that will go to all universities indicating that children should be absorbed without school fees, and at what time? Will it indicate the time the child will be allowed to be in school as the government prepare? Because that's the only assurance.
We undertake to provide the circular any time before the end of the week, because it is of necessity that all our university know this as we provide the way forward so that our students can be admitted without any such.
And true to his word, shortly after he left Parliament, a circular addressed to all vice chancellors of public universities and principals of constituent colleges, and copied to the head of public service Felix Koskei, PS Higher Education Beatrice Inyangala, and clerks of both National Assembly and Senate, was released. Among other directives, vice chancellors have been directed to admit all students pending processing of their funding. Earlier, Machogu and his team, which included Principal Secretary for Higher Education Beatrice Nyangala, COOP's Chief Executive Officer Agnes Wahome, HELB CEO Charles Ringera, and Universities Fund CEO Geoffrey Monari, were required to explain why they placed some students in private universities to study courses they did not select.
What do we tell students who applied for a public university and were admitted in private universities in courses that they did not choose?
In case there is a child who was placed in a private university against his or her wish, I think that is unprocedural, that is not proper.
University students have until September 7th to apply for government funding. However, the Education Cabinet Secretary says the government will extend the period to ensure no student is locked out. Shadrach Miti, KTN News.
Thank you, Miti, for that. Now, moving away from education matters, all police roadblocks across the country will be